Good evening, sim racing fans, and welcome to the WCIParts.com Truck Series here in Sim 500 competition. Tonight, Pocono Raceway on the tab, and just 4 races, including tonight, left until we begin the playoff and the chase here in the WCIParts.com Truck Series. We'll take a look at the standings heading into tonight. Chad Cole, championship leader now. All the drop races have been added in, so these standings are up to date. Chad Cole, Trey Edson, Nick Silver, Justin Fuller, David Comstock, Chad Coleman, E.J. O'Rourke, Tommy Ryan, Kevin Brown, J.D. Laird, Steve Gottschalk, Ryan Howard, Jason Jacoby, and Jason Barham, all in the top 14 right now. That's the first round of the chase. Brian Chambliss on the outside looking in, 3 points back. He's tied for 15th with Steve Ritter. Also 3 back, Brian Macklin, 12 back, trying to get his way up and into the top 14. So we'll keep an eye on that over the course of the next couple of weeks. We head to Eldora next week, and then we have an off week, and then we come back to, I do believe it's Michigan and Bristol to get us ready for the chase. I am Ben Kilcrease, and joining me up in the booth tonight, Mitch Rollo. He's getting the picture that you see to you, and on the microphone tonight, so doing double duty. Mitch, here we are, Pocono Raceway, the tricky triangle for 60 laps in the WCIParts.com Truck Series. A good field of trucks and some very close times on the board in qualifying as we get set to drop the hammer and get to it here in the Pocono Mountains. I think tonight's going to be a fun one.
It's going to be a fun day. Sim 500 guys always putting on a good show. I know we sound like a broken record saying that week in and week out, but these guys truly are some of the best on the simulator, so that's what makes it so fun to watch them.
With that being said, it's now time to run you through the starting lineup here at the Pocono Raceway. Starting inside of row number 1, he's set quick time with a 54.437. It'll be Mr. Excitement, Jason Jacoby. He'll lead us with the green flag alongside Tommy Ryan in that number 99.
Starting third going to be the 21 of Nicholas Cohan, and starting fourth to his outside, the 51, that is Justin Fuller.
Trey Edson going to roll off inside row number 3 to his outside. It'll be the 93 of Kevin Brown.
Starting 7th, Brian Macklin looking to turn his luck around. He's had some bad luck the last few weeks, looking to turn that to good luck here tonight. And to his outside, starting 8th, going to be Brandon Bowie, no 1.
Timothy Johnson going to roll off inside over number 5, and that 28 to his outside. Chad Coleman will round out the top 10 as the rest of the field scrolls across the bottom of your screen, and we get set to go racing here at Pocono Raceway. 2.5 miles here at the Pocono Raceway. 3 very unique turns. Turn 1 is a pretty fast left-hander, obviously. Then you have the tunnel turn, the tight, almost full throttle there in the middle of the backstretch, and then you have the short shoot all the way down to turn 3, which is one of the most technical turns on the racetrack. Gets you that big launch all the way down the front stretch. So with that being said, it's all going to come down to who can master those 3 corners, who can all put them together the best. Mitch, we know that Pocono, one of the most challenging racetracks on the circuit, and we're going to see who's the best at really putting all 3 corners together the best here tonight.
Yeah, and that's the fun part about this track, is no 2 corners are the same here. So it's really tough to adapt those lines for these drivers and make that truck work in all 3 corners. You're going to see some guys that are excelling in turn 1, but are awful in turn 3, and some guys are going to go flying through that tunnel turn. Some guys are going to lose ground through there. So going to be interesting to watch here tonight.
It'll be fun indeed, and while we get set for the green flag, we'll pull up tonight's pole sitter, Mr. Excitement, Jason Jacoby. Ben Kilcrease in the booth. You got a copy?
Hey, Ben. Yes, sir. How are you doing tonight?
Doing great, and so far, looks like you're doing pretty swell down there on track yourself as well. Got the best starting spot in the field. What's it going to take to get through these 60 laps and put that 88 machine in victory lane?
That's a really good question. I really appreciate you and Mitch bringing this to us. I think I was watching the last broadcast from Sunday night, and you guys know lately I've had speed to drive through the field. Well, sitting on the pole is something I haven't done lately, so we'll see if I can just take that speed, and I'll try to run away with it. Who knows how many mistakes I'll make up here, but we never ever run the perfect laps. You know, there's always time we're giving up, no matter how good we hit it or how well we hit it, but I'll try to run as best as possible and try to go away with this thing. But if not, we'll try to put on some good racing with Tommy and the boys back here. And thanks to everybody for tuning in.
Sounds good. Well, we wish you the best of luck, and you get busy down there, and we'll do the same up here.
Thank you, sir. See you guys.
There you have it, Jason Jacoby starting pole tonight here at the Tricky Triangle, and he said it perfectly there, Mitch. You know, don't know how many mistakes he's going to make. He's just got to be sure he's got enough of a lead if he does make those mistakes to capitalize from it. Here we go, a field of right at 30 trucks on hand to do battle at the Tricky Triangle. It is race number 15 on the circuit. Pace car going to head down the pit road. Jason Jacoby in control of the field. He is in the gas, and we are underway here in the Pocono Mountains of Pennsylvania, and a dead even start. A drag race as they race down into turn number 1.
Must have went right when that green flag waved, because those guys are dead even going into turn number 1 here. Jason Jacoby and Tommy Ryan on the front row of this race, side by side for the lead here early on. Tommy Ryan around the outside, going to have a big run on Jason Jacoby going to the back straightaway.
So give Ryan the whole shot off of turn number 1. He'll take the early lead here at Pocono Raceway. He'll drag Justin Fuller into 51 with him. And Jacoby going to slide up right in front of Brown there, who started outside of row number 3. He's found himself up to the 4th position. Here comes Cohan, though, looking to challenge at 93 as they race down into the 3rd turn. For the first time tonight, it looks like it's going to be Tommy Ryan to lead lap number 1. The battle, though, going to be for that 4th spot. Give it to Cohan. Briefly off of turn 3. He'll have it down the front straightaway.
Nice job there by Cohan to take that spot away from Kevin Brown, put him in the 4th spot. And yes, Tommy Ryan does in fact lead the first lap. Second is Justin Fuller. So a good start to the race for those two guys. Jason Jacoby sliding back, but I'm sure they won't keep him back for long, as he's right on the back deck lid of Justin Fuller right now as I say that.
Yeah, Talano's already up here in the top 3, and I'm sure we'll say that quite often tonight as top 3 kind of breaking out and go a little bit, a couple truck links back to Nick Cohan and Kevin Brown, who round out the top 5. Then you have Brian Macklin on the move there. He's one of those drivers on the outside looking in. He and Brandon Bowie going at it for that 7th position. Give it to Macklin that time through the tunnel turn.
And a lot of the field now starting to single file out just a little bit here as we go up to the blimp cam. We see that, but you know, these guys are calm and calculated in those trucks. The first battle on the track, though, that 42 of David Comstock trying to make up some spots. Not the type of qualifying that we're used to seeing, or qualifying run that we're used to seeing from David. So he's got a little bit of work to do to make his way up through the field. But you know, as I've said before, David's one of the best at doing that and saving his tires. So I think by the end of this thing, he's going to be up at the front.
Qualified 16th, has made his way to 13th in the first 2.5 laps here at Pocono. Working lap number 3 now as the field heads down Long Pond straightaway into the tunnel turn and into the short chute. For the 3rd time this evening, Nick Cohan up at the front of the field, starting to close in on that top 3, the 21 Toyota Tundra. Right there now on the bumper of that 88 Silverado as they race into the flat turn number 3 here at the Pocono Raceway. To the front straightaway, it's Ryan Fuller, Jacoby Cohan. Throw a small blanket over the front 4 to complete lap 3 of 60.
Yeah, and these guys not really looking like they're in too much of a hurry here early on. Like you say, just lap 4 of 60. So these guys want to save their stuff, make sure they don't burn their tires up, getting up through there. And but right now, Tommy Ryan doing a nice job in that 99 truck, holding these guys off.
That he is as they work to the back straightaway, or Long Pond straightaway. There's technically 2 back stretches here at Pocono, so that gets confusing at some points. They head through the tunnel turn now, and it looks like Trey Edson going to make the pass on Kevin Brown to work himself back and inside the top 5. Edson started 5th on that inside line that just didn't get going there on the initial start. Kind of shuffled him back in the field, but now he's back up to 5th. Moved Brown back to 6th where he qualified, and Macklin, one of those drivers early on the early move, also after getting shuffled back on that inside line. It's Macklin, Bowie, Chad Coleman, and then Steve Ritter who round out the top 10. Everybody single file there, even single file through the top 15. Small battle between Nick Silver and Randy Yoakum heating up. 15 and 8 going down into turns number 1 and 2. That's ending into 1 rather. That is the battle for the 13th spot as Yoakum trying to fend him off on that outside.
And Yoakum doing a really nice job getting that run off down that straightaway and gonna get in front of that 15 of Nick Silver for the time being as they head down into that short fast, crazy turn 2 here at Pocono. It's always fun trying to watch guys pass getting through that corner, and watch Silver close up on the back deck lid here of Randy Yoakum, dives in underneath him. Those guys battling for the 13th spot currently.
Nick Silver didn't make a lap in practice, got one lap in qualifying, qualified 18th, and is now looking to boost himself up the speed or up the pylon 5 position since the drop of the green flag. And if he gets through with this pass in turn 1, he'll do just that. But they are neck and neck. This battle's been going on for 2.5 miles exactly now. Is Silver going to try and clear him? He's going to slide up in front of the 80 Yoakum, almost up and into the wall. And as I say that, the caution's going to fly. It looks like it's for Sean Casto in the 52 off of turn number 1.
It is the Sean Casto machine, as we'll get the replay up. See what exactly happened here. Going through turn 1, him and Gottschalk battling, and it looks like he just got loose. But I'll tell you what, he did a really nice job of keeping that truck down off the racing line and not collecting anyone else. And no harm, no foul. He didn't get any damage, so Casto will live to fight another day here.
Great job by Casto, just spinning it around there, like I said, keeping it out of the inside. But it gets real tight over there off turn 1 between that new inside safer barrier and the outside safer barrier. No other trucks involved, just a single truck spin there off of turn number 1. Looks like he may have tagged the apron to upset that machine and loop it around. Nonetheless, so caution out for the first time tonight here at the WCIparts.com Truck Series. Here at the Pocono Raceway, it is Tommy Ryan out in front of the field. That's about 6 green laps, so I'm sure we'll see most of the field come down for 4 fresh Goodyear tires on this run of pit stops.
I would tend to agree with you, but I think, with as important as track position is here at Pocono, as hard as it is to pass, we might see the odd guy try and take 2 tires here, try and get some of that track position that's so valuable at this place. So I'm not really on board with the idea that everyone's going to take 4. I think most will take 4, but might get your random guys like maybe a Dave Comstock might end up taking 2. He's been known to gamble a little bit here and there, so see what happens here.
Well, we don't have Byron Daly in the field, so we know that we don't have to worry about him taking 2 tires. He'd probably take 2 from here on out and get a win, and he just works his magic down there. So we'll see if anybody else can do the Daly trick tonight and pick up a victory out of it with the 2 tires here under the first caution. Tommy Ryan going to lead the field down pit road, and we'll keep an eye on them as they get it woed down to 55 miles per hour here. It's a long pit road here at the Pocono Raceway on part of the longest straightaway in all of NASCAR. And boy, Justin Fuller right there on the bumper, on the tailgate of Ryan as they head down pit road. And same for Cohan and Jacoby, almost pushing that 88 down pit road. Everybody into their pit boxes. Brown going to slide through. Cohan, Edson, a handful of drivers slide through pit road. Brian Chambliss misses his pit box. He'll come back around and try again. And it looks like Edson's going to be the first taker on the 2 tires.
Wow. He was already up close to the front, I do believe, as well. If I'm not mistaken.
He slid through his pit box, though, so that's...
oh, that's right, yeah.
So he had to save some time there. So Edson takes the 2 tires, and we'll see if it works for the driver of the number 40 machine. It looks like, I want to say Comstock may have also taken 2 tires. I'll go back and check the replay on that. No, Comstock was down for 4. So it looks like Edson going to be the only one with the 2 tires. Justin Fuller dropped a lot of positions there, and not quite sure what happened to the driver of the 51. Got into his stall a little bit, missed his pit box by a little bit there, but not too much. But nonetheless, so he's going to come out maybe outside the top 10.
Yeah, he's going to be 11th here.
Yeah, wow. So we'll let everything cycle around here at Pocono and take this opportunity to take our first break of the night. You won't miss anything under caution. We'll stay corner to corner so you can see all the action. We'll return just in time for the restart. You're watching the WCIparts.com Truck Series here in Sim 500 competition. When we get back, we're going to keep on trucking from Pocono.
Racing, you wanted the best, you got them 4 abreast. Often imitated, never duplicated. The greatest show on dirt, the World of Outlaws.
TransService has flourished and retained customers for multiple decades. How? By making our word our bond and delivering the most responsive service and transparent financial details to give our clients the best all-around value in the industry. By not providing cookie-cutter, one-size-fits-all, off-the-shelf solutions. Instead, crafting tailored, customer-centric solutions for each client's individualized business model and needs. By empowering highly ethical, dedicated associates to build true partnerships and mutually beneficial relationships with our accounts. And by cultivating long-term, loyal customers and vendors through each and every one of these guiding principles, and maintaining those relationships with transparent, quality operations. That's why TransService has been successful for 50 years, and that's how we'll continue to grow and flourish long into the future. Let us show you why many of our clients have been with us for over 20 years. It's all about the experience, yours and ours.
Welcome back to Pocono Raceway. Lights are off atop the iRacing.com Ford Mustang pace car. It heads to pit road. Get your notebook out. 5.5 laps on the left side. Tires for Trey Edson. The right sides are fresh. So we'll see what the two tires do for the number 40 machine as we climb back through the gears, get back up to speed, and race to turn number 1. Not so much of an even start this time around. Down into 1, it's going to be Edson leading Ryan. But, oh, look at Edson sideways in that 40. Oh, my goodness, how did he save that?
It was a great save by Trey Edson to not go around in front of the field and possibly take out 90% of the whole field as they work down in between 1 and 2. Now into turn 2, that tunnel turn. Here comes that 99 Tommy Ryan with the 1 of Brandon Bowie attached to his back bumper. Now Brandon Bowie going to dive underneath him, trying to take that lead away.
Bowie from P8 to P1 in 10 laps here at Pocono Raceway. Give Bowie the lead off of turn number 3 and to the front straightaway. He's looking to set sail now. And at RacingBids.com, Chevrolet Silverado as they race down into turn number 1. Bowie, Ryan, and now the battle for third ongoing behind them. There with the very sideways Trey Edson in the mix of things.
Yeah, 2 tires not working out for Edson here early on in this run, and Cohan got that run on Jacoby off of the corner, but here comes Jacoby up in front of the 40 of Trey Edson, trying to get that run down the back straightaway, and Cohan running away from Jacoby as we speak. And man, that 40 truck is loose.
Loose for sure. Down into the tunnel turn. He's way up out of the groove, getting some more debris on those tires and slipping and sliding a little bit more. Justin Fuller now to the inside of the 40, trying to get back some of the positions he lost on that round of pit stops there in the 51. Give him the 6th position off of turn number 3 as Edson continuing to slip back. Remember that notebook I told you to get out at the start of this thing? We'll jot down 2 tires no go after 5 laps.
Yeah, and that's going to be a valuable lesson learned for Edson going forward, but unfortunately he's going to lose a lot of valuable track position with that move here as they work down into turn number 1. Still going backwards and gets loose again. Wow. And he's got to be careful or else he's going to wad this thing up.
Got to be careful for himself and everybody around him as now they are almost 3 wide for a moment there. Comstock, the veteran, backs out of it and lets them get sorted out before the tunnel turn there. 2 wide in the tunnel turn, hard enough, but make it 3 wide, then it's really going to get exciting through the fastest part of the turn, and we have another caution on the racetrack. Steve Gottschalk in the 91 around off the tunnel turn, and it looks like he got a piece of the apron and looped it on his own. Got a small piece, or that's a big piece of the inside safer barrier, putting us under caution for the 2nd time.
replay up. We'll see what exactly happened. Yeah, like you said, just gets a piece of that apron, and once that happens, it's so tough to save this truck, and Gottschalk becomes the second victim, as Sean Casto did earlier here tonight. Unfortunately, Gottschalk not lucky enough to miss that inside wall.
So Gottschalk going to have a little bit of damage. He'll come down to the service of his pit crew this time by. That was 3 laps on the tires that time by. So what are you thinking here, Mitch? 4 tires again, maybe 2 tires, maybe stay out. I certainly don't think we'll see anybody stay out. With everybody seeing what the 2 tires does, I don't think they want to try that. I'm thinking everybody's going to come for 4 again.
Yeah, I think you're right. I don't really see. You know, I don't know. 2 tires might be worse than no tires. You know, sometimes the way that works here on the simulator, it can kind of upset the balance of the truck if you just take 2. So maybe no tires might feel a little bit better, but we're gonna have to wait and see. I'm not even gonna make a prediction as to what's gonna happen, because I guarantee you, whatever I say, they're gonna do the opposite.
I think there's going to be some mind games on the commitment cone, or around the commitment cone area, so we'll stay with you for just a moment to see what happens here on pit road. Bowie's going to lead a good portion of the field now. The whole field heads to pit road here on lap number 13 at the Pocono Raceway. This is probably the best news for Trey Edson. Fell back to 8th, but now he's going to get a chance to come in, get some fresh tires on that machine, and try and work back up to the top 5 spot he had a little bit earlier on in this race. We'll see how everybody gets into their boxes. So far, so good for a good portion of the field. So we'll see now if anybody decides to go with the 2 tires, or if we go 4 all the way around. Macklin's going to try 2. Fuller going to try 2.
Brown 2.
Brown tries 2. So here we go. We're going to have another exciting restart. So while we get set for that, we're going to take another break right here on the Sim Racing Network. We'll go corner to corner. We'll be back from Pocono Raceway just in time for the green flag.
How to make a kick-ass Bloody Mary. First, visit your nearest Apollo liquor store in Rochester or Austin. Pick up a bottle or 2 of Kick-Ass Bloody Mary mix and all the fixings. Then fill your glass with Kick-Ass Bloody Mary and your favorite vodka. Add the Kick-Ass fixings. Now it's time to enjoy a Kick-Ass Bloody Mary, and of course, repeat as needed. Get your Kick-Ass Bloody Mary mix and all the fixings today at any of the Apollo locations in Rochester and Austin. It's just that good.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Trans service has flourished and retained customers for multiple decades. How? By making our word our bond and delivering the most responsive service and transparent financial details to give our clients the best all-around value in the industry. By not providing cookie-cutter, one-size-fits-all, off-the-shelf solutions. Instead, crafting tailored, customer-centric solutions for each client's individualized business model and needs. By empowering highly ethical, dedicated associates to build true partnerships and mutually beneficial relationships with our accounts. And by cultivating long-term, loyal customers and vendors through each and every one of these guiding principles, and maintaining those relationships with transparent, quality operations. That's why TransService has been successful for 50 years, and that's how we'll continue to grow and flourish long into the future. Let us show you why many of our clients have been with us for over 20 years. It's all about the experience, yours and ours.
iRacing, you wanted the best, you got them four abreast. Often imitated, never duplicated. The greatest show on dirt, the World of Outlaws.
Welcome back to the Pocono Raceway. Lights off atop that beautiful iRacing.com Ford Mustang pace car as we're set to go back racing here in about a half a lap as we'll kind of restack the field for you. Justin Fuller takes 2 tires after about 3 green laps on the last run. He'll restart this race on point and on the outside. He chooses the outside lane. Brian Macklin takes 2. Kevin Brown takes 2. Then Brendan Bowie, Tommy Ryan, Nick Cohan, Jason Jacoby, Chad Coleman, David Comstock, and Trey Edson. All going to be on fresh tires. They round out the top 10 as we're set for the restart here at Pocono. Mitch, what do you think? Good, bad idea for these top 3?
I'm going to hold judgment until further notice.
Ask again in about a lap, right?
Absolutely, yeah. I'll have an answer for you then. I'm sure these guys will too.
Yeah, we'll find out if we're going to add into the notebook 3 laps, 2 tires. Good or no good. Here we go, set for the restart. Working lap 16 of 60, almost already 1/3 of the way through with this event here at Pocono Raceway. Pace car to pit road, Fuller in the gas, and we're back underway, and it's a drag race, but Macklin's got a problem. Macklin to the inside. I don't know what happened to the 30 machine, but they're going to go 3 wide to try and get around him into turn 1.
He must have missed the shift going down the front straightaway there as Fuller out to a commanding only 3 wide for second for just a second there as they work through turn 1. And here comes Kevin Brown on the inside, gets a little bit loose. Here comes Cohan, got the run off the outside, around the outside of Kevin Brown as they work down the back straightaway into turn number 2.
So Cohan with the bumper attached to the tailgate of that number 1 machine of Bowie down into the tunnel turn, right on the heels of Justin Fuller. We're going to have a challenge for the lead by the time they get to the front straightaway again. Here comes Bowie. He took the lead in demanding fashion on the last restart, looking to redo the same here off turn number 3, but can't quite put the power down in time there. Justin Fuller holds on to the lead for at least a couple more miles. So Fuller in that 51 out front, Bowie, then Cohan, Brown, Macklin. That's the top 5. Battle for 6th is between Chad Coleman and Tommy Ryan as they race down into turn number 1. Ryan up in the 99 on the outside, Coleman down low in the 20.
And Comstock waiting to pounce on those two if they make a mistake as they work off at turn number 2. Ryan going to have the slight advantage in speed, in straightaway speed rather, as they work down between 1 and 2. Macklin on the top side and Brown on the bottom side, 2 wide in front of all those guys. So watch out as they work into the tunnel turn right here. They get that sorted out before anything happens, as here comes Coleman on the inside of Tommy Ryan, trying to work into that 6th position.
Coleman got a good run through the tunnel turn. Ryan kind of got caught up there behind the 93, who was on 2 tires, holding his own for now, but through turn number 1, that truck just gets wicked sideways. Kind of like what we saw from the Trey Edson machine back when he took 2 tires. Speaking of Edson, he's back in that mix as well. Some great racing going on here around the 6th position. Everybody trying to get back up and into the top 5.
Yeah, Edson having a good rebound here so far in this run as they work off at turn number 1 going down the back straightaway, and Kevin Brown doing a decent job on those 2 tires, but he definitely sliding backwards just a little bit here, but did pick up a fair bit of track position doing that move, so probably worth it in the long run. We'll see how it does in the long run as they work off the tunnel turn. Mostly single file throughout the whole field. There's a couple of side-by-side battles as we look through back to around, looks to be around the 16th spot between the 13, the 6, and the 28. That's Dwayne Vincent, John Lockhart, and Timothy Johnson.
Some great racing going on back there. 3 wide, though, for a spot inside the top 10. Edson went down low, thought he was going to go for 4 wide. That's Jacoby Comstock Coleman making up that 3 wide battle as they race into turn 1. They get it sorted out to 2 wide as Comstock takes the advantage off of turn number 1 into the long pond straightaway. Move Comstock up and into, I do believe, will be the 7th position for the number 42. Up 9 spots from the drop of the green in 1/3 of the race.
And here comes Jacoby as well in the 9th spot. Just took over the 9th spot from Trey Edson at number 40. And didn't get quite the run he needed off of the tunnel turn. But here we go into turn number 3. You see staying about even with Coleman there as they work their way through there and off of the turn. Jacoby, though, not going to be held back there for long. Maybe biding his time here just a little bit before he makes his moves up through the field.
Had a swap for the 2nd position while we were watching some of that battling going on in the middle of the pack there. Cohan was able to get around Brandon Bowie. Bowie didn't put up hardly a fight at all as he... Oh! Justin Fuller sideways in front of the field. Almost crashed off of turn number 1 from the lead.
And we'll get a replay up of that because that was insane as Fuller almost loses it. And great save by Justin Fuller, but unfortunately that's going to heat up that right rear tire and send him back quite a few positions here as he now is scored in the 12th position. So Fuller not going to be happy with himself over that as he was leading this race and now loses 11 spots.
Almost like the Sean Casto incident on to cause the initial caution. That one didn't bring out a caution, but it Myers Fuller way back in the field, and he's got some work to do from P13, P12 for the 51. Battle up in front of them, ongoing still. Now it's for a spot inside the top 5 as Comstock and Macklin go at it for the 4th position. Brown is sideways in the 93 right in front of Jacoby and Coleman, and now they're going to be 3 wide heading towards the tunnel turn.
This is going to get
and they're crashing.
Wow. And I'm just going to say right now, they're probably lucky that they crashed in the back because if they went 3 wide in the tunnel turn, no one was going to come out of that okay.
Absolutely. That was Chris Gaboo. Same incident over in turn number 1 as Casto. A couple laps prior to Jeff Rhyme. Poor innocent bystander there got on the brakes and his truck jumped out away from him and he got the worst of that deal, getting into the inside wall. Gaboo able to keep it out of the wall, but nonetheless so, putting us under caution for the 3rd time here at the Tricky Triangle.
Yeah, and it just seems like this truck is so loose out there tonight, and these guys are having a hard time holding on to it, especially when they clip that apron. Seems like that apron just upsets the truck so badly, and you know, they gotta make the adjustments needed to try and keep these trucks straight, or else we're gonna be under caution for the rest of the night here. While we are green, it is you know, lots of awesome racing. These guys doing a really nice job up front, but seems like there's just the odd guy that ends up spinning out near the back of the field and bringing out cautions.
Absolutely. So that was 5.5 laps there. I think we all know the answer on the tire strategy for this one.
4 and fuel.
4 and fuel for sure. As Cohan going to lead the field down on the pit road. We'll take a commercial break right here on the Sim Racing Network. We'll keep it on corner to corner so you can see what happens down during pit stops. But until we meet again, we'll see you here in just a minute. We'll be back in time for the restart, where we're going to try and keep on trucking from the Tricky Triangle.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Service has flourished and retained customers for multiple decades. How? By making our word our bond and delivering the most responsive service and transparent financial details to give our clients the best all-around value in the industry. By not providing cookie-cutter, one-size-fits-all, off-the-shelf solutions. Instead, crafting tailored, customer-centric solutions for each client's individualized business model and needs. By empowering highly ethical, dedicated associates to build true partnerships and mutually beneficial relationships with our accounts. And by cultivating long-term, loyal customers and vendors through each and every one of these guiding principles, and maintaining those relationships with transparent, quality operations. That's why Service has been successful for 50 years, and that's how we'll continue to grow and flourish long into the future. Let us show you why many of our clients have been with us for over 20 years. It's all about the experience, yours and ours.
Welcome back to Pocono Raceway, set to go for another restart here on lap 25, closing in on the halfway point. But first, we're going to see if we can't dial up a driver. Mitch, who do we have on the radio?
I got you. Well, the last pit stop there, we decided to take 2 to see if it'll free it up in a bit. Boy, it sure did free it up. It got so loose. So we decided to take 4 this time and hopefully keep our spot, maybe go to the lead. All right, guys, thank you.
There you have it, Kevin Brown. Restarting 6th, and when he says we decided, talking about him and his crew made up of himself and his cat, Paisley. Set to go for the restart. Didn't see that one coming, did you? Justin Fuller choosing the outside line. And his left side tires are a good dozen or so laps old, if not older. Green flag back in the air, though. We'll see how it shapes out for him and the rest of the field as we race to turn 1.
As they are going to turn number 1, I will say that no one heard me on that side of the interview. All they heard was Kevin talking, so I do apologize for that. But as they head to turn number 1, here comes Brandon Bowie on the outside, trying to get around to 21 and Nicholas Cohan and Tommy Ryan. And there goes Justin Fuller. He spins in front of the whole field, and the whole field crashes in front of everybody as the caution is out. And this is what I was afraid of. As I do believe this is
one.
That's yeah.
Yeah,
That's not the big one. That's the huge one. As the 51, unfortunately, on 2 tires there, underestimated how loose that thing would get. And we'll bring the replay up here for everybody. And Yeah, it just goes down into turn number 1, coming off the corner and just gets out of control. And all the guys behind him trying to save it. And, man, that was almost literally the whole field, Ben.
I'd say a good 75%, if not more, involved, and a lot of trucks just came to a complete stop to avoid it. And I'd say maybe 5 trucks out of the whole field escape without damage after a just absolute bizarre pit call. And wow, that's going to put us under caution again. And boy, I'm at a loss for words right there. There's a point in the race where you make these wild calls for track position, but prior to halfway is just a little bit crazy, and I think that could have been avoided by some changes down on pit road. But nonetheless, can't go back and change that now. What we can do is try and get all these broke trucks fixed and back it into the show. And hopefully we can continue what we had going there, as it was real good before 75% or more of the field involved in that most recent caution.
Yeah, and then, you know, I just don't even know what to say about that one. That was an interesting call. I mean, he knew it was loose on 2 tires the first time, and unfortunately made the decision to take 2 again, and the rest of the field's paying for it, and Fuller with almost, doesn't look like a scratch on his truck, so I'd assume he's going to come down and take 4 tires here, but I could be wrong.
Could be. We might try 2 again to see if we can get the make that 75% go up to 100. Nonetheless, though, the announcer's curse striking again. Kevin Brown involved in that incident. He's scored 25th on the board right now, so we apologize for that, Kev. Not much we could do there. We kind of warned him, told him to buckle up, and he just nowhere to go, like a good portion of the field there. Nonetheless, though, caution out for the 4th time, and well, we're going to run out of commercials. You'll probably see a couple of these a couple times tonight, but we've got to take a break to kind of restack everything, get everything sorted here, and wow. We'll be back from Pocono.
And we would talk about to more drivers too, Ben, but we see what happens every time we talk to someone. So just
yeah, we've got to see who's even left in the race too. So we've got to get everything sorted out. We'll be back here at the Tricky Triangle, which is certainly throwing some curves at us tonight here on the Sim Racing Network. We'll be back for the restart.
TransService has flourished and retained customers for multiple decades. How? By making our word our bond and delivering the most responsive service and transparent financial details to give our clients the best all-around value in the industry. By not providing cookie-cutter, one-size-fits-all, off-the-shelf solutions. Instead, crafting tailored, customer-centric solutions for each client's individualized business model and needs. By empowering highly ethical, dedicated associates to build true partnerships and mutually beneficial relationships with our accounts. And by cultivating long-term, loyal customers and vendors through each and every one of these guiding principles, and maintaining those relationships with transparent, quality operations. That's why TransService has been successful for 50 years, and that's how we'll continue to grow and flourish long into the future. Let us show you why many of our clients have been with us for over 20 years. It's all about the experience, yours and ours.
iRacing, you wanted the best, you got them 4 abreast. Often imitated, never duplicated. The greatest show on dirt, the World of Outlaws.
How to make a kick-ass Bloody Mary. First, visit your nearest Apollo liquor store in Rochester or Austin. Pick up a bottle or 2 of kick-ass Bloody Mary mix and all the fixings. Then fill your glass with Kick-Ass Bloody Mary and your favorite vodka. Add the Kick-Ass fixings. Now it's time to enjoy a Kick-Ass Bloody Mary, and of course, repeat as needed. Get your Kick-Ass Bloody Mary mix and all the fixings today at any of the Apollo locations in Rochester and Austin. It's just that good.
Welcome back to Pocono Raceway. Here's how the field is going to be restarting. This one, Brandon Bowie out in control, Nick Cohan, Jason Barham. Those are the only three trucks that did not pit. Sean Casto came down, got a little bit of damage fixed. Remember, he was cause of the first caution. Justin Fuller comes down, gets 4 this time, so we'll see if that helps on this restart. Green flag back in the air. We're back underway here at Pocono, working on the halfway lap this time.
A great start for Brandon Bowie that time as they work into turn number 1. Fuller cutting it close to the nose of that number 16 of Steve Ritter heading into turn number 1. Now dives underneath that 52 of Sean Casto, and here they come off of turn number 1. And Casto in the wall.
Casto gets a little piece of the wall on the outside of Fuller there. Lucky didn't bounce off and collect Fuller, kind of like we've seen a couple times tonight with a couple trucks off of 1 and off of turn 3 there. They get up into the wall and cut back left, but for Fuller, thankfully that's not the case as he back up to the 3rd position. He's on a little bit fresher tires than the 2 trucks in front of him, trying to run those guys back down. From the 3rd position, Jason Barham holds on the 4th. Here comes Steve Ritter inside the top 5 tonight.
Ritter having a nice run here, was able to escape that junkyard, I'll call it, that last caution as they come down the front straightaway, working into turn number 1, trying to maybe make a peek on that 22, but thinks better diving it down there, and right behind him, Sean Casto, also having a nice run tonight here.
Casto doing well, and especially after the first caution caused by him over in turn number 1. He's got that truck pointed back in the right direction and just outside the top 5. How about Jonathan Lockhart? Up to 7th. He was one of those trucks at the rear of the field that just kind of stopped and let everybody crash in front of him. He's looking to the inside for P6 for the number 6 down into turn 3.
Underneath the 52 of Sean Casto, here comes Jonathan Lockhart trying to make something happen. I think Casto going to have to run off the corner here, but maybe not, as Whitley get clear? No, not quite. He's just a sliver away from being able to clear the 52. Sean Casto not able to do it. So here comes Casto back around the outside of that 6, Jonathan Lockhart. Maybe not.
Yeah, they're going to drag race it, but it looks like Lockhart going to clear the 52 and 1, slide up the racetrack and get that position off of corner number 1. Here comes Ryan Howard in at 33. Haven't talked much about him tonight.
Sorry to cut you off, Ben. We got a battle for the lead here as they work into the tunnel turn. Here comes Cohan. He's going to make the pass on that one of Brandon Bowie and put the 21 to the point. Sorry to interrupt you there, Ben. I saw that happening up front. Thought I better cut you off there.
It's all right. Cohan takes the lead. Bowie right back to the tailgate, though, of that 21. 121-51. All going at it now in a 3-truck battle for the lead up at the front of the field. Here comes Fuller looking to make the pass on Bowie, but not going to pull out, surprisingly. He decides to push the number 1 machine down into turn 1. So those top 3 drivers will run tail to nose for the time being. And we'll see if Bowie's able to get back around the 21, or when does Fuller make the move on Bowie here in the next couple of laps off of turn 1 down Long Pond straightaway. The 51, a slight run, but let's go back to Ryan Howard. We mentioned him, haven't talked about much about him tonight. He was involved in that incident, not as much as others around him, but he is up and into the 8th position, gets past Sean Casto there on the last lap as Casto is sideways and yoke him almost into the tailgate of the 52.
That was almost big as they went through the tunnel turn and Casto got loose, but a nice save there by Casto. Early in the race, like you said, he did spin out, so maybe learned a little bit about how to save that thing as he's coming off of turn number, almost said turn number 4, but that is turn number 3 here at Pocono. Only 3 turns. Yoke him underneath the 52 of Sean Casto, trying to make up 1 spot as he is going to get that spot and clear Casto heading into turn number 1. Move Randy Yoakum up to the 9th spot.
So Joachim Casto trading some spots here. Here comes Timothy Johnston in the 28. Looking to the inside of the 52. He'll have to run down Long Pond straightaway and look to make the pass here in the tunnel turn. One of the hardest turns in all the motorsports to make a pass, especially in a stock car. Johnston makes it look easy though there. Casto lets him have it. No sense in battling that hard outside the top 10 on lap number 34. 4 laps past halfway here at the Pocono Raceway. It's Nick Cohan out in front of the field. He's had a great truck all night long. Started in third, got shuffled back early on, but has finally found himself up and into the lead. Brandon Bowie has also led briefly tonight here at the Tricky Triangle. Fuller has led, and each time he's been in the lead, he's took the big slide off of turn 1. First time it was just a single truck slide, no caution. Second time it caused the big one, taking out 15-20 trucks over on Long Pond straightaway. Now he finds himself up to third, and not to put any more on his shoulders, Mitch, but I've never seen somebody cause a crash and get away scot-free, but Bowie into the wall and back up almost into traffic there. Bowie, a hard slap against the outside wall off turn 2.
And, I think Cohan just scraped it too. We'll go back and get a replay of that really quickly here, as I do believe that they both kind of scraped it. We'll back it up just a little bit more here, as can't quite get to it there. But yeah,
I was going to say Cohan didn't get it into it quite as hard as Bowie, but as well as I do, Mitch, following a driver like that, if he slides up into the wall, well, most likely you're going to be up and into it as well. You just break your concentration. You rely on him not to hit the wall, and I'm sure that's exactly what happened there.
Yeah, and unfortunate for the one of Brandon Bowie, as he was having a really nice run, but hopefully not a lot of damage on that number 1 machine, as Cohan still leads this thing. Justin Fuller about 3/10 behind him, just kind of lurking behind him, waiting for Cohan to slip up, make a mistake as they work through turn 3 now. Cohan really been fast all night since the drop of the green here.
Certainly has, and he's making his way, or making it look easy out there is what I was going at. He's been fast all night, as you mentioned, and finally has made it up and into the lead. He's been top 5 for a good portion of the night, right against that yellow line, flirting almost with disaster there if you put the left sides down on it, but it looks like he's got turn 1 mastered. It looks like he's got this whole course mastered here at the Pocono Raceway. He is pulling away from Fuller down Long Pond straightaway. Cohan having a great run tonight here at the Tricky Triangle.
As we ride on board, looking out the back of that number 21 machine of Nicholas Cohan at the 51 of Justin Fuller, you can see Fuller closing in just a little bit here, as now they work through turn number, I believe 2. That's turn 3, as they come down the front straightaway. Cohan still leads, and by this time it's about by 0.2 of a second. So Fuller is closing in just a little bit. Sorry, it's 0.4 of a second.
Keep an eye on that, as kind of a game of accordion here. Fuller will catch one lap, Cohan will pull away a little bit, so we'll keep an eye on that battle as it shapes up over the next couple of circuits here at Pocono. Good battle going on for P6 between Brandon Bowie and Nick Silver. They're side by side, 2x2 here as they run into the tunnel turn. Good racing going on here as Silver trying to clear that one machine, but can't quite do it there off the tunnel turn. Silver gets a little loose. That allows Ritter to slide up to the outside of him in the 16 machine. Here comes Ritter trying to get back up and into the top 5. Almost some contact maybe between the two on the entrance there of 3.
Yeah, they were pretty close to hitting there as off of turn number 3. And Sean Casto coming down pit road there in that green number 52 as well. Oh! The 13 of Dwayne Vincent just hit the pit entrance wall, and he hit it hard. That machine is going to be probably low, or pretty hurt after that.
Wow, and Vincent wasn't trying to make it on pit road. He just got loose off of turn 3, and bang, right into the attenuator goes the 13 machine. That truck is done. The rear end completely shifted around on that machine, so Wow, bad break there for Dwayne Vincent, just holding his own there outside the top 10, gets loose off a 3 and just wrong place, wrong time for the driver to 13. Back up to that battle between the 15 and the 16. They're going at it for, looks like, P6 on the racetrack now, as Ryan Howard has just gotten around Jonathan Lockhart for the 4th position up front. But these guys, Ritter and Silver, continuing to go at it here just outside the top 5 for that 6th position.
Heading into turn number 1, they kind of get all single filed out before they get there. And that number 1 of Brandon Bowie that hit the wall earlier looks like it's definitely affecting that truck very heavily, as he is continuing to slide backwards, now into the 10th position as we work down the back straightaway. So definitely disappointing for that 1 of Brandon Bowie, because he was one of the fastest trucks out here tonight.
Absolutely, and probably had a truck to win had the damage not come off of turn 2 there a couple laps ago. How about Dwayne Vincent back on the racetrack with that heavily damaged number 13? They got it pointed somewhat straight, rear end's a little wrinkled up on it, and he's right in front of that battle for 4th. Now he slides up the racetrack and lets him go at it. Ryan Howard got around Jonathan Lockhart, but now Lockhart back on the offense. He's wanting to get that position back away from that 33 machine.
And as they work in the turn number 1 here, you see that 13 Dwayne Vincent around the outside, letting everyone go by on the inside. Good courteous move by him. Everything pretty much single filed out here for the most part, but Ryan Howard up there having a nice run yet again, and Jonathan Lockhart. I mean, we usually don't talk a whole lot about Jonathan Lockhart. He's usually in the 15th to 20th range. Good solid driver, you know, midfield driver, but not up front a whole ton. As Ben, what'd you see out there?
That was Nick Silver right behind Lockhart, sideways off the tunnel turn. Didn't check up though. I mean, he stayed in it, and look, he's gaining on Lockhart off of turn number 3, sideways again off corner number 3 for the 15. Silver starting to get up and on the wheel, and he's not slowing down.
Not slowing down as he's closing in on that 6 of Jonathan Lockhart, trying to make a move in turn 1. Not going to be able to do it this time by, as they work through turn number 1, and Lockhart sliding back just a little bit. Here comes Silver off the corner with a really good run down the back.
Silver's got a good run down Long Pond straightaway. He'll look to the inside, Pocono's out, try and get some fresh air to that number 15 machine as they race to the tunnel turn. They'll go door to door, side by side. They get a little tight through there. Lockhart gives him plenty of room. Silver does the same, continuing to go side by side. Lockhart a slight advantage off the tunnel turn, but down into turn number 3. Here's where the big money happens. Silver throws up a little grass on the entrance there, trying to get to the rumble strip. Still side by side, can't clear the 6. And here comes Johnston to maybe try and take advantage of that battle and pick one of their pockets as they race down into 1.
And peeking his nose in there right behind them, the 28 of Timothy Johnson, wanting to get in on the action as they do head to turn number 1 right here. And Silver still stuck behind that number 6, of Jonathan Lockhart, as they work off of turn number 1 and down the Long Pond straightaway here. And these guys just hill the nose 3 deep here, battling for that 5th spot.
Absolutely, and a lot of these guys have damage on their trucks, so it's certainly not driving like it used to. All of them involved in that incident over in turn number 1, where the leader got sideways in front of the whole field. But boy, these guys putting on a heck of a show. How about Jason Barham just holding his own there in 3rd position? He was one of the fastest trucks in practice, and didn't have the best qualifying effort. He qualified 27th. Actually didn't even put a lap down in qualifying. Started 27th, up 24 spots, sitting P3, and he's on track to maybe walk out of here from Pocono with a podium.
Yeah, Barham doing a fantastic job here tonight in that number 22. On board with Jason Barham right now as we watch him work down the Long Pond straightaway. And you know, Jason, another guy we don't talk about a whole ton, but doing a really nice job with that machine here tonight.
Certainly is. So oh boy, Fuller got real close to the wall off turn 2 there, was able to keep it out of it, but a close call indeed as he tries to chase down Nick Cohan. It's about a half second, has stayed that way for a good portion of this run, the distance between 1st and 2nd, and Then now the question is, didn't really talk to any of the drivers. Are we going to be good on fuel all the way to the end of this race? And maybe my question being answered now is Johnston and Ritter. And it looks like another truck, Yoakum and Gaboo, a handful of trucks down on pit road, including Jason Barham.
Jason Barham coming a bit down to pit road, and a handful of others, like you say, as Nick Cohan still out in front of this field, and Fuller fading back as now 6.5 tenths as they work down into turn number 2 with those trucks. Cohan putting on a clinic right now, dominating this race, has led for quite a few laps tonight, as I don't have the exact number, but he's led the majority of the laps here tonight at Pocono Raceway.
Certainly has. So we'll keep an eye on these top 2 drivers. Cohan comes to pit road this time by. Leader down, pit road, as Fuller going to stay out and get another lap led here at the Tricky Triangle, but leader Nick Cohan giving up the lead to head pit side. He brings Ryan Howard and looks like Nick Silver down, as well as Lockhart. Here comes Tommy Ryan to join the party as well.
So I guess this answers your question. They cannot make it to the end on fuel, as majority of the field now coming down to pit road, and I would assume that the 51 of Justin Fuller, seeing everyone pitting, is going to come down this time, but I have been wrong before as he works down through the tunnel turn and out of turn 2. We'll see if he comes this time just shortly here.
Fuller out in the lead is trying to get back around Brian Macklin, who's got his lap back there in that 30 machine. Macklin, one of those trucks involved in the incident, over in 1 as well. Here comes Fuller down pit side, and oh my goodness, I'll be surprised if he got it woed down in time there. He may have a speeding penalty on the 51. That was pretty fast coming in, and he locked the tires up.
Definitely looked a little bit fast coming into pit road for the 51 of Justin Fuller. We'll see here shortly if that's going to end up being a speeding penalty for that 51, but nonetheless, out back on the track, Brandon Bowie right now in the lead, still has yet to pit, as well as Doug Sigmund, who is second. Chad Cole running third with a ton of damage on that vehicle, still yet to pit. As working lap 47 to 60 here, so 14 laps to go.
Sorry to cut you off, Fuller. A speeding penalty. He is being held on pit road. So any chance that Fuller had of winning this race under green flag conditions, out the window.
Wow. As you just can't afford to make these mistakes in the race, and we've seen it time and time again. These guys' race get ruined by something like pit road speeding penalties or even sliding through their box. So big mistake there by Fuller that unless a caution comes out, he's not going to get those positions back.
So Brandon Bowie continuing to lead here at Pocono. We are certainly well inside crunch time. We're coming up on 10 to go, but we're going to take a quick commercial break right here at the Tricky Triangle. Let everything cycle around. We'll keep you on corner to corner, and if anything happens, you'll see it there. From Pocono, we're going to keep on trucking.
How to make a kick-ass Bloody Mary. First, visit your nearest Apollo liquor store in Rochester or Austin. Pick up a bottle or 2 of Kick-Ass Bloody Mary mix and all the fixings. Then fill your glass with Kick-Ass Bloody Mary and your favorite vodka. Add the Kick-Ass fixings. Now it's time to enjoy a Kick-Ass Bloody Mary, and of course, repeat as needed. Get your Kick-Ass Bloody Mary mix and all the fixings today at any of the Apollo locations in Rochester and Austin. It's just that good.
Racing, you wanted the best, you got them 4 abreast, often imitated, never duplicated, the greatest show under the world of outlaws.
Caution is out. You saw it on corner to corner. Dwayne Vincent spins in front of leader Brandon Bowie. How about that to shake up things here in the final closing laps of this one. Bowie getting the 11 to go signal this time by. Not really a signal, but 11 to go at the flag stand for Bowie. He has yet to pit. Doug Sigmund has yet to pit. Chad Cole has not pitted. Chad Coleman has not pitted. So 4 drivers out in front of Nicholas Cohan, who is fresh off pit road for about 2 laps prior to that incident.
As you just saw the replay on the screen of that 13 to Dwayne Vincent getting into that wall, as that brings out the caution here, of course. And man, talk about the position that Chad Cole is going to be in. Obviously, with the damage on his truck, it's going to be difficult to make anything happen with that 82. But at the same time, call to stay out as long as possible and get all that track position. Gonna pay dividends for that 82, I do believe. Even though he's gonna probably slide back quite a bit with all that damage on that truck, still gonna finish a lot of positions ahead of where he was if he would have pitted with everyone else.
Absolutely. But the big question on the racetrack is, if you are Nicholas Cohan...
Don't even ask if he should take 2 tires, because my answer is no.
You're Nicholas Cohan. You've only been on the racetrack for 2.5 green laps. Do you stay out? Maybe try and get that lead back. If you're Justin Fuller, you almost have to stay out and try and get the lead, or try and get some spots back, because he's only been down 1 lap prior to that caution. So, boy, are things about to get interesting here. Coming off of turn number 3, field heading down pit road. Everybody is down so far. And Fuller, last minute, decides to stay out. He almost got the attenuator, but he chooses to stay out along with, it looks like, Brian Macklin. Macklin, though, going to have to go to the tail of the field. Fuller stays out, as does Ryan Howard in the 33.
Well, it's about to get a little bit crazy, I think, Ben. Not just a little bit crazy. It's about to get insane. Because,
so.
I mean, I just... No, you know what? I'm just going to leave it alone. I'm just going to see how this plays out. I don't even have anything to say right now. I don't know.
We're going to restart this thing with around 8 to go. Maybe a little bit less, actually. As it's going to be interesting come turn 1. And let's hope and pray we don't have another replay of what happened there a couple laps ago, or a handful of laps ago, rather. Don't look like anybody decided to go with 2 in the middle of the pack, so that's a good sign there. Everybody on 4 from what looks like it'll be 4th on back. So we'll let everything cycle around here at the line. We'll try and complete that commercial break that we started. We'll stay on corner to corner just in case anything happens under caution, but if nothing does, we'll be back in time just for the restart here. And from there, we'll take you all the way to the checkered flag. Don't go anywhere. You're watching WCIparts.com Truck Series live from Pocono Raceway Sim 500 competition. Sim Racing Network. We'll be back.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Trans Service has flourished and retained customers for multiple decades. How? By making our word our bond and delivering the most responsive service and transparent financial details to give our clients the best all-around value in the industry. By not providing cookie-cutter, one-size-fits-all, off-the-shelf solutions. Instead, crafting tailored, customer-centric solutions for each client's individualized business model and needs. By empowering highly ethical, dedicated associates to build true partnerships and mutually beneficial relationships with our accounts. And by cultivating long-term, loyal customers and vendors through each and every one of these guiding principles, and maintaining those relationships with transparent, quality operations. That's why Trans Service has been successful for 50 years, and that's how we'll continue to grow and flourish long into the future. Let us show you why many of our clients have been with us for over 20 years. It's all about the experience, yours and ours.
iRacing, you wanted the best, you got them 4 abreast. Often imitated, never duplicated. The greatest show on dirt, the World of Outlaws.
How to make a kick-ass Bloody Mary. First, visit your nearest Apollo liquor store in Rochester or Austin. Pick up a bottle or 2 of Kick-Ass Bloody Mary mix and all the fixings. Then fill your glass with Kick-Ass Bloody Mary and your favorite vodka. Add the Kick-Ass fixings. Now it's time to enjoy a Kick-Ass Bloody Mary, and of course, repeat as needed. Get your Kick-Ass Bloody Mary mix and all the fixings today at any of the Apollo locations in Rochester and Austin. It's just that good.
Welcome back to the WCIParts.com Truck Series. It's race number 15 here at Pocono Raceway. Coming up next Wednesday night, same place, same time, right here on the Sim Racing Network. It's Eldora for Sim500's version of the Dirt Derby, 125 laps down in Ohio. So here we go. Set for the restart. It is Ryan Howard out in front of the field. He'll lead us to the green flag alongside Justin Fuller. Ryan Macklin sits third. Those drivers all stayed out, only on a couple laps tires. On their tires, everybody else, fresh tires behind them, green flag back in the air.
Howard drops the hammer as he gets back to it and pulls out in front of Justin Fuller by a couple of car lengths as they head into turn number 1. We'll see what happens here. It's about to get interesting, Ben.
That it is. They race down into turn 1, or rather. Some 3 wide in the middle of the pack, but they get it all sorted out before they get off of turn number 1. Scratch that. They're still a little bit 3 wide. In the middle of the pack, Don Runkle was the meat in the sandwich there for a brief moment. Now they get it sorted back out 2 wide. And now they're 3 wide, almost for the lead up front. Here comes Cohan to the inside of Fuller. Side by side for the lead. Fuller the advantage off the tunnel turn.
Fuller with the advantage, but as they head into turn number 3, Cohen's going to dive it in there underneath the 51. And there he is. He's underneath them. Can he get the run off, though? I think Fuller's going to have the advantage.
Cohan down low, Fuller up high, side by side, give it to the 21 at the line that time by. Fuller gets the small run down the front straightaway, but Cohan may have him cleared here in 1. We'll see how far Fuller sends it. He sends it pretty deep. Cohan not going to be able to clear him. They're going to be side by side off turn number 1. Fuller almost up and into the wall, and Cohan clears.
Cohan back to the lead where he has been most of the night. And he is going to set sail, I do believe, with fresher tires than the 51 of Justin Fuller. As they head into tunnel turn, we'll see what all these guys behind Cohan have got up their sleeve to try and make something happen as Justin Fuller gets loose through the tunnel turn after he taps that apron.
I tell you what, they are wadded up from 11th on back. Don Runkle, Nick Silver lead a fierce battle, a snarling pack of trucks back here at the Pocono Raceway, trying to race off of turn number 3 here and get every position they can in the final closing laps of this one.
And working down the front straightaway, looking down from the blimp, you see just what a mess it is back there, Ben, as they come down. Oh, they almost touched there. going down the front straightaway, going into turn number 1 here as they kind of get it sorted out, at least from 3 wide to 2 wide, as now they're making their way through turns 1 as they go to the back straightaway, the long pond straightaway. Here, Brian Macklin leading this little group with Tommy Ryan on the inside.
Whoa, man, they are all sorts of out of control back here. Brandon Bowie in the mix as well. Here comes Lockhart, almost making it 3 wide. Bowie's going to get it into Lockhart. They're sideways. Lockhart spins it out, and the caution flies here at Pocono.
Caution flies at Pocono. We'll get the replay for that one up right away here. See what exactly happened. Looked like the one of Brandon Bowie just barely got into the 6 as Jonathan Lockhart is, yeah, there it is. Taps the rear end of the 6, and the 6 goes around. Fortunately, not taking out anyone behind them. And yet another caution here at Pocono, as I do believe we are now going to have our last attempt, our one and only attempt rather, at a green-white checkered, if I'm not mistaken.
Absolutely, and now we get to open up pit road again for the final time tonight. That was 3 laps on the tires that go around. What do you think here, Mitch? A lot of these drivers didn't take tires on the caution prior to this, so they're looking at 5-6 laps on their tires altogether. Do we see some takers on pit road?
I don't think so. I just think it's too late to be coming down pit road to make up those spots again after you come down. So I think majority of the field is out here, but you know, maybe a couple of drivers, maybe just around the 10th spot, or maybe a little bit further back, come down, take 4 tires, and see what they can do on this final restart.
Well, we'll see what's going to happen here this time by off turn number 3. Pits are going to be opened up. Cohan, your leader, he is got the freshest tires here at the front of the field. He did come down pit road on under the last caution period, so about 3 laps on the tires for Cohan, about 3 exactly for the driver of the number 21, and everybody staying out. A couple takers, middle of the pack. Ritter going to lead about 3-4 trucks down. So you were right. You called it right that time, Mitch. About the only time tonight we've got it right as everybody stays out, and gonna line them up for a trip around Pocono Raceway, 2 trips around Pocono Raceway for a green-white checkered here.
And it's going to get pretty wild here, I think. I think there's going to be some bold moves made here for the drivers. You know, I can't talk tonight, Ben. Don't make fun of me. Don't make fun of me. That's not very nice.
The huge one has gotten me all jumbled up ever since. Kind of like the field was off of turn number 1 there is Kevin Brown gets a lucky dog this time by getting one of his 18 laps back. Still 22 trucks on the lead lap here at Pocono Raceway. Dwayne Vincent 8 laps down. I do believe he has pulled it behind the wall. Kevin Brown 18, now 17 laps down. David Comstock is on the racetrack. He's 20 laps down. Jason Jacoby is behind the wall. Brian Chambliss on track, 27 laps down. Trey Edson 30 laps down in the number 40. That rounds out the field here at Pocono. Nick Cohan, though, he's no laps down. He's ticking the laps off up at the front of this field, and he's done that ever since about the halfway point. He has been the truck to beat here at the Tricky Triangle. He is doing a great job tonight in that beautiful number 21 Toyota Tundra.
I have a question for you, Ben. I don't know if we should do this or not, but I'm wondering if maybe we should pull a driver up for an interview. I'm almost scared to, but I wouldn't mind getting a word in with one of these guys near the front. Possibly, well, we'll see who we got here. Who can we pull up? I don't want to pull Nicholas Cohan in. He's probably in his you know, his game mode. He's trying to focus here as we're gonna get the one to go here shortly. How about Jason Barham? I think he'd be a good guy to pull up here and talk to. Ben, see what we can do here. Jason Barham. Mitch, roll up in the booth. You got a copy?
What's up?
Jason, you're running 3rd tonight, my man. You're doing a hell of a job in that number 22 machine. Talk to me about your race. How you got here?
Well, I did a lot of practice, and all my practice, I couldn't even do a clean lap during qualifying, so I ended up being starting last. slowly worked my way up, avoided that big wreck somehow, and just kind of did a little strategy to get up here a little bit with less fuel. Kind of gives me a little bit better drive off the exit of the corner, and just kind of staying focused and keeping my line as best as I can.
Absolutely, and looking at the sponsor on the side of that machine, Vets for Cannabis. Talk to me a little bit about what that is all about, Jason, because I know you have a hand in that.
Yeah, the local one that I work with is Minnesota Vets for Cannabis, and we're just trying to gain more awareness through the Senate and the House of Representatives to change our bill here in Minnesota to eventually be able to help our veterans out better. It's a big chaotic situation right now, but little by little, if we all do a little work, we can do a lot, and our veterans need whatever we can do for them. They were willing to give the ultimate sacrifice for us, so I'm willing to try and do whatever I can to make sure that every day that they live, they can live as happy as they can.
That's definitely an awesome cause to be a part of, Jason. We appreciate your time. We appreciate what you're doing for those vets with Minnesota Vets for Cannabis. Good luck the rest of the way tonight here. I believe just one green white checker left, so it's going to get interesting.
Yeah, hopefully I'll be talking to you here again in about 10 minutes.
Absolutely. As that was Jason Barham. We'll try and find his correct room to go back down into. Where are we at down there, Jason? Sorry.
Where's that?
Were you with the Aftermath guys down there?
We got it taken care of.
Oh, perfect.
Gets a little confusing here. A lot of channels to choose from on the radio side of things. Nonetheless, though, lights off atop that iRacing.com Ford Mustang pace car. Jason running for a great cause there. Vets for Cannabis. Be sure to check them out on all social platforms and get the latest and maybe how you could help from the comfort of your own home. I was going to touch on some of the trucks inside the top 5. Cohan, Fuller, Barham, no damage. Ryan Howard has a little bit of damage. Chris Skaboo, clean, and Timothy Johnston is clean, and every other truck in the field has some form of damage on their machine, whether it come from the big wreck over in turn 1 or of their own doing, at some point in this race. Working lap number 60 right now. It's not the final lap, although it is preparing us for the final green-white checkered. Here's how the green-white checkered will work. We'll get the green flag off turn number 3 here. We'll have 2 laps to settle it. If the caution comes out, the race is over, and we'll go back to the last completed scoring loop prior to the caution to determine the finish of the race. If we make it all the way to the checkered flag, then obviously the race is over there as well. So 5 miles, 2 laps here at the Tricky Triangle to determine a winner here in the WCIParts.com Truck Series. Buckle up. It's been a wild one, and I don't think it's going to settle down anymore in these final 2 laps. Going overtime here at Pocono. Pace car set to head to pit road. There it goes. We're back racing.
Cohan with a good jump on I-51 to Justin Fuller, but Fuller not too far behind him as they go down the front straightaway here. And Cohan still with the edge. Ryan Howard, look at the run he has going in and heading towards turn number 1.
Good run for Howard, trying to get up and onto the podium, but Jason Barham may have something to say about that. Off of turn number 1 here, they'll go single file for a good portion of the top 10. Howard slips up. Here comes Barham, his opportunity to make it back to 3rd.
Barham going down the back straightaway, the long pond straightaway, underneath that 33. Ryan Howard doing a really nice job trying to work underneath that machine, as working it through the tunnel turn here. And will he be able to clear him? Maybe not quite, as they go down towards turn number 3. Now Barham blocking down Timothy Johnson, trying to make it 3 wide into turn number 3, but Barham holds him off as they head down into turn number 3 and through turn number 3. Ryan Howard on the outside. Looks like Barham's going to maybe be able to clear him. No, as it's going to be a drag race to the line.
This is going to be the battle on the racetrack right here. The white flag is out for Cohan. He's got clear track in front of him and some distance behind. The battle for the final podium spot here at Pocono. They dive into 1. Silver is sideways. He saves it into 15. Somehow, no, he backs it up into the wall. We stay green. They're crashing behind. We're still racing. One truck is upside down. Still green as they race to the tunnel turn for the final time. Jason Barham trying to hold off the hard charge from behind.
as Timothy Johnson sends it into the tunnel turn. He's loose, and Jason Barham, all he has to do now, as I do believe, yeah, he's going to be the third spot as they work through 3 and 4 right here. But up front, take Nicholas Cohan to the line here, Ben.
Final time off corner number 3. A dominant run for the 21, Nick Cohan, from third to the win at the Tricky Triangle.
And a great run for Cohan, and Jason Barham ends up bringing it home, P3. So that is easily his best finish of the year here in the WCIparts.com Truck Series, and an awesome cause going to be on the podium tonight here with that 22 truck.
So we'll get to talk to Jason Barham again. We'll talk to Justin Fuller and, of course, our winner as well. Coming up here shortly from Pocono Raceway, the congratulatory bumps down Long Pond straightaway. We're going to get to chat with Nick Cohan here in just a moment. We'll watch his celebrations on the front stretch here on Corner to Corner while we take a quick commercial break, get everybody lined up for the interviews. We'll be back with the post-race show right here on the Sim Racing Network.
How to make a kick-ass Bloody Mary. First, visit your nearest Apollo liquor store in Rochester or Austin. Pick up a bottle or 2 of Kick-Ass Bloody Mary mix and all the fixings. Then fill your glass with Kick-Ass Bloody Mary and your favorite vodka. Add the Kick-Ass fixings. Now it's time to enjoy a Kick-Ass Bloody Mary, and of course, repeat as needed. Get your Kick-Ass Bloody Mary mix and all the fixings today at any of the Apollo locations in Rochester and Austin. It's just that good.
Racing, you wanted the best, you got him 4 abreast, often imitated, never duplicated, the greatest show on dirt, the World of Outlaws.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Welcome back to the Pocono Raceway, as it's now time for post-race interviews here after a very wild race here at the Tricky Triangle. Let's send it down to Mitch Rollo. He just chatted with him, so now he's going to get even more comfortable with the driver who came from 27th to finish on the podium tonight. That's Jason Barham.
Jason Barham, we just talked to you a couple of laps to go in the truck, but here you are on the podium with a 3rd place finish here tonight. Talk to me about your run and what this run means to you.
Well, thanks, guys. I told you, man, I wanted to talk to you here again, and, well, I got my wish. Busted my ass there in that last restart. I mean, there wasn't much of a finish up front, but I looked like for 3rd, 4th, 5th, you guys had something to watch there, and, it's just tonight's my personal best, so I'm pretty proud of myself, and I couldn't have come at a better time with me at 14th in points, straight on the cut line, so this should help me out, give me a little cushion. I mean, it's still not over yet, but got to keep fighting.
And talking about your personal best here tonight with a 3rd place finish, is this going to help you moving forward with a little bit of confidence maybe, and trying to click off more of these things, or is this a one-off deal? I hope it's not. I hope we get to talk to you more.
Well, I think in the month of May, at 3 out of 4 races, I had a top 10. I was getting pretty consistent, and in the month of June there, I just had a lot of bad luck getting other people's wrecks. I was caused a couple myself, and I'm just hoping this is another start of a good consistent run, at least to get me the points. That was my goal this year, to make the cut. So I'm right there, man.
Absolutely, you're right there. It was a stellar job here tonight, Jason. You and that 22 truck doing a really nice job, finishing third. Is there anyone you want to thank for this run here tonight?
Um, Sim Speed Shop, they hooked me up with a nice box. I got kick-ass beef jerky. They've been through me since the beginning of me getting on this iRacing thing. A great partner, and of course, my Minnesota Veterans for Cannabis, my guys there, and all the veterans out there, that what they did for our country. I appreciate it, and hats off to you guys.
Jason, I appreciate your time here post race after a third place finish. Nice job here tonight, and good luck next week at Eldora.
Yep, thank you. It's time for a beer, bud. Have a good week.
I hear you. And Ben, that was our third place finisher who's gonna go crack a cold one after after his third place run here tonight. That was Jason Barham.
Well, he certainly deserves it after coming home on the podium from 27th to 3rd in 60 laps at Pocono. That's pretty good. It's 24 cars he passed, an average of about 2 every 2 laps. So there you go if you want to do the math. And now I've understood you've caught up with the driver who finished second tonight, who had his fair share of exciting moments on the racetrack, 51 Justin Fuller, standing by from P2.
I am down here with Justin Fuller in this number 51 truck. Justin, we'll just say it was an eventful race for you tonight, as just definitely some ups and downs, but you finished second here tonight, so a good rebound. Talk to me about your race.
I didn't have a scratch on the truck. What are you talking about? No, but I took 2 on the second caution, third caution, whatever it was, and it worked pretty good there for a while. I got loose, and I just thought it was a stupid loose. So I lost a bunch of spots, and it's so hard to pass. So I was like, well, I'm gonna take 2 again, and just hopefully I can hang on to it. Well, there was absolutely like no side bite on the tire, so I ended up losing it off 1, and ultimately, I mean, I appreciate Tommy Ryan trying to avoid me, but it wasn't his fault for the wreck. It was my fault, 100%, and I'm gonna own that one. And I apologize to everybody that was involved in that wreck. It's all on me, nobody else. So, yeah, that was just really shitty on my end, and I didn't really have anything for Nick there at the end because he had fresher tires than me, about 3 lap fresher tires from pitting when I stayed out again. So, the only thing I could have hoped for, I guess, is for him to hit the wall. But I really like this track. I gave the Pocono truck race win away to Nick last year, if I remember correctly. He's really good here, so I knew I was going to end up having to race him tonight. But yeah, just sucks.
Absolutely. Nothing to hang your head about though. Second place finish here tonight. Even with all the stuff going on there on track. Is there anyone you want to thank here for your run at Pocono?
Yeah, I want to thank all the admins of Sim500, Sim500.com. I want to thank WCI for sponsoring the series. If it wasn't for them, we wouldn't be here. Everybody that raced tonight, everybody that watched tonight, you guys doing the broadcast, everybody at Aftermath Motorsports. Congratulations to Nick, and especially to Jason for a third place finish. And just an apology again to everybody that was involved in that wreck.
Justin, appreciate your time here tonight, and we'll see you next week at Eldora.
Yep, definitely looking forward to that one. So y'all have a good night.
And that was second place finisher Justin Fuller here tonight, and I do believe that you've caught up with the guy who dominated a lot of this race, the number 21, the driver of the number 21, Nick Cohan.
Absolutely, Nick, down here in victory lane. You didn't lead every lap of the race tonight, but for, I'd say, all 62 laps, you heard that right. We went overtime. All 62 laps, you were probably the quickest truck on track. And boy, you and Pocono, you guys just mend well together.
Yeah, it's my home track, and I always love this place. Just 3 totally unique turns, and takes very hard to be fast here in all 3 corners. And the day I got iRacing, the first thing I did was buy the A car, and race Pocono in the test session for probably hours. Just I love this track, and like I said, it's my home track. So felt pretty good coming in tonight. I haven't really driven the trucks in a long time though, so it was kind of a little bit behind. I wasn't sure how it would feel in the long run, and just avoided some wrecks and played the strategy good. I was really bummed to see that caution there that ruined that long run, because I had a pretty big lead the way it was gonna cycle through. But it all worked out. I was pretty pissed at that point, but got lucky there that I beat a couple guys out of pit road on fresh tires. And I know my dad watches all these races, and he texts me as soon as the caution came out, "Don't pit, don't pit." He always gets pissed off at me when I pit, so I did anyway. So I proved him wrong tonight.
It's fun stuff there for sure, Nick. Congratulations on the win tonight. 1 out of 3 starts in the Truck Series. You going to continue on with us here? Maybe Eldora next week?
Oh man, I love Eldora. Not very good at it, but anything with dirt is so much fun, especially with these slot cars that we race in this game anymore. So I'm gonna try and make it. I got leaving for vacation next week, so I probably should get packed instead of going to races and playing video games. But priorities.
Absolutely, priorities for sure. Well, speaking of priorities, who gets it done behind the scenes there for you and that 21 team?
Of course, shout out to CG Automotive, Follow Sport, Toyota, Beer Hill Gang, and most importantly, all my teammates at Disney Motorsports. Had a good run tonight. I know this is the first time for Tim running the trucks tonight. You got top 5, and old man Runkle got 6 tonight, so pretty cool. Yeah, and you guys for putting this together in Sim500.
We appreciate it, Nick, and we congratulate you on your win here tonight at Tricky Triangle, and hopefully we will see you back at Eldora next week. Looking forward to it.
All right, thanks, guys.
There you have it, Nick Cohan picking up the victory tonight here at Pocono Raceway, and we can finally breathe after that one. That was a wild race for sure. These truckers always get us going on Wednesday night. They know how to hit you right in the gut and make your heart stop pretty much a good portion of the race, and they did a great job of doing that tonight as well.
It doesn't matter what series we're in Sim500. It always seems to end up being a spectacular race, as tonight was no different. And calling these things with you is fun, man. I love sitting up here and watching these guys. I love racing on Mondays, and I love being down there in the car for one night a week, but also fun to hop up here every once in a while and watch these guys duke it out and watch them get all heated and mad on the track instead of me getting heated and mad on the track.
Absolutely. It's a whole different perspective, and certainly glad everybody else tunes in with us as well. But that's going to do it for us tonight here at Pocono Raceway. We hit the dirt next Wednesday night. Be sure to join us, same place, same time, right here on the Sim Racing Network. Tonight's broadcast was part of our Triple Threat streaming service. You watched it either on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch, and we remind you, no matter what platform you're watching on, to give us a subscribe and turn on notifications so you can be notified whenever we go live. But for Sim500 and WCIparts.com, and for everybody here behind the scenes at the Sim Racing Network, he's Mitch Roto and Ben Kilcrease. We'll see you next week at Eldora. We'll see you back Sunday for the Kick-Ass Series as well. Remember, when you're out there on the roads, put that phone down. Good night from Pennsylvania.